Sometimes we forget how big it is, Twitter. Tell us, Mark, how did Twitter come on your path?
Well, it's almost a year ago, and at that time I was working at TMG, so the parent company of the newspaper like the Telegraaf, and a simple headhunter called me and said, "Well, Twitter is starting in the Netherlands, and would you be interested to join?" At that time I was really focused on that job, so I said no. And then when 2 months later the whole company changed and the CEO was dismissed, the headhunter called me again and said, "Well, might this be the right moment?" And I said, "Well, let's talk." And
then
that's where it ended. Yeah.
Cool. And we know that Twitter, the programming and everything happens, and the product itself, it all happens in Silicon Valley. So what does the department of Twitter do in the Netherlands? Were you the first one to start here in the Netherlands?
No, actually, the real first one is in the room. She's there. She's just asked the questions. So Margarita. So she really should get the credit. She started in April last year. I joined her in mid-July. And then from that moment onwards, we were with actually a team. So we were 2 of us. We really worked hard to hire some more people. We hired 4 more in December and 3 more in January, February, March. So now we are with 10 people in Amsterdam and 1 person in Brussels. So we just started Belgium from the Netherlands a month ago. And what we do here is marketing and sales, basically. So you're right, all the programming happens in San Francisco. There are over 3,000 people now working at Twitter. 2,500 of them in our corporate headquarters. We opened an office in Dublin to support back office functions for all the, let's say, front offices that we are opening up. So Dublin acts as our hub for finance, HR, operational stuff, so that we can really focus on marketing, sales, partnerships on a local perspective.
Awesome. Well, I'd like to make a little count here in the audience. Give me some hands for who has a Twitter account? That's going very good. Who tweeted this week? Yeah, it's kind of the half. All right. This
it's more than average.
Yeah, more than average, right? Because this is like the problem, right? That a lot of people have an account, but there's not a lot or not enough active people from all those accounts that have been made.
First of all, there are no problems, there are only challenges. And it's
obviously.
And it's never enough, as you can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think the challenge that we have globally is that we've quite an extraordinary user base. So 250 million people are active on a platform, and active means not necessarily tweeting. So you asked the question, do you tweet? Mm-hmm. But we also think of Twitter as a platform to consume content. So that's
the question I should have asked. Maybe we should ask, how many of you follow people on Twitter last week?
Without tweeting.
No, without.
Yeah. No, but or you get the picture. Yeah, so the amount of content on the platform is not our challenge, because there's 1 billion tweets as you saw in 48 hours. So on the contrary, you could even easily say that there are too many tweets to really consume all of it on a platform. So the challenge that we face is that we grew pretty quickly to 255 million active users. Also the Netherlands pretty fast to over 3 million. But getting from 3 million to 7 or 8 million really requires that you open up to the masses. And I think that's a challenge that we are now taking on. So our product should be simpler to use. It should be easier to get on a platform and understand what you do with it. So that's the stuff that we really are focused on.
On the one hand, you have the challenge of getting more users to come onto the platform, and on the other side, you obviously have the challenge of making money.
Yeah.
It's like what kind of products do we have in the Netherlands to as a company to work with Twitter?
I think there's a very easy answer on it, but it took the company 5 years to come up with the answer. So Twitter is almost 8 years old, and for the first 5 years, we did not make any money. So we were only focused on getting users on the platform. And we were thinking with a lot of people how to make money and how to come up with advertising that didn't feel like advertising. Yeah. And Twitter is a mobile-only, mobile-first platform. So what we eventually came up with is advertising which really is promoting the content which is already on a platform. Yeah. So the simple thing that we need to do as a sales team in the Netherlands, make sure that people really understand the platform. If you were listening carefully, you noticed that Mark did mention a lot of platforms, but he missed out on Twitter. So we really should make sure that all these kind of brands, that they feel that Twitter is a natural way of being on the platform and doing marketing on it. And the easy piece then for us is make sure that they know that if they are effective, let's say with 100%, the products that we made, so the promoted tweets or accounts, can increase that effectiveness by 10 or 20 times.
And so basically, it's a step further, because like brands should already be on Twitter and working, and then from a base that you already have, it would be the obvious step to buy advertisements.
That is absolutely the first step. So if a brand comes to us and say, well, I want to spend money and I want to be successful on Twitter, and we ask, what are you doing today? And if they say, well, we're not on a platform, we easily would take half a year or even more not to talk about advertising or promoting their stuff, but just be
get them up to speed.
Organically active on the platform. Because the thing that the developers came up with is pretty straightforward, is that the strength of the platform is the enormous amount of tweets that you see and the speed of which it just flows down to the bottom. That's also the weakness of the platform. So if I follow Ace and Tate as a brand and I say, well, send me your content in my timeline, if I'm not at the same moment or half an hour after Mark sends his tweet, I will never see that tweet because it's just buried in all the 1,000 other tweets. So we provide companies and brands that really get the platform and already send out organic tweets to surface on top of my timeline. And only if I feel that that content is intriguing enough to click on it or reply on it or retweet it, then we charge money to the brand.
Can we make the same comparison with sponsored stories in Facebook?
Yeah, a little bit. I think basically the basic concept is probably the same. I think the surrounding is completely different. So Facebook is a friend network, which is a closed group. So I need to friend you and you friend me, and then we exchange information, just like Hives, where I was working quite some time. And as a brand being part of that, let's say, friend discussion, to me requires a different tone of voice than Twitter, which is a platform which is based on interest. So I follow completely different people, things, brands, news outlets, journalists on Twitter versus my Facebook group.
For example, for B2B, it would be better to come to Twitter.
I'm not sure better, it's different. There's no better or worse, it's completely different platforms.
Approach,
yeah, but if you are into, let's say, live storytelling, so Twitter is the default live platform. So tonight, in an hour or two on the World Cup, most of the people experience those live moments on Twitter, because if you open up Twitter, you see what's happening around you at this moment. So I think that characteristic is really interesting for brands that really want to tap into those live moments.
Cool. Awesome. Let's start with the first movie, or second.